Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Professor Stevie Coard, and today's lesson we are going to talk about pie. Pie. I love pie. Oh my God, that's not the best piece of pie, but we were just gonna say P. Let's make it better. Come on, let's make that better. All right, so piece of pie. Let's see. Ooh, look at that pie. My favorite is pumpkin. All right, see that pie right there? So why are we talking about pie? P-I-E. Well, it's called author's purpose. Whenever we get a text, it is our job as a good reader to be able to understand or read like a writer. And so we need to understand pie. And that's persuasion, that is information, and that is entertainment. Well, why is that important? Well, at the end of this lesson, you'll understand we use pie for author's purpose. Whenever we're communicating our messages to people, we want to be able to have an intent for why we're doing that. So if I'm writing to change your mind on a topic, well, I will persuade you. If I am giving you information that you have never had before, well, that's informing you. And if I want to give you a story where you take a message from it, well, that will be entertainment. So let's write that down. Change your mind. We have teach you a new topic, and we have a message or moral, a lesson to learn. And so when you are writing to get your message across, you want to be intentional about, are you trying to persuade someone? And usually you'll see that in a text. They use words like should. They use a lot of modal verbs like should. And it's more based around questions, and they're trying to persuade you. Think about when you have a family member or friend who says, I like buttercream ice cream, and this is why. Because they're trying to get you to like it too. Information, or informative, is when you are learning new information that you don't know. And usually that comes in the form of, hey, I'm going to teach you something that you have probably never heard about. So am I learning something? That's what the reader is thinking as they're reading. The writer, am I able to teach this topic in a structure on the paper that someone can understand and learn something new? Because we are lifelong learners as humans. We love information, we love learning. Next, you have entertainment. Now, these are your fictional stories or your nonfiction stories, and they usually have some kind of message, like a big moral. They have something that you take and you apply to your life. That is the point of the author's purpose. Think about it. As an author, you're writing, think about a purpose, right? It's an intent to do something. So the author is intending to change your mind through persuasion, inform you on a topic, something you probably have no general knowledge about, or entertainment, where it could be a fictitious story, or it could be a story based on real life events. And usually that'll have a moral. So anytime you get a message in a story. And then later in the lessons, we will go through the difference between persuasion and theme. All right? So, and persuasion usually has a claim, which is a statement that someone is giving. Now that statement could be fake based on their bias, or that statement can be something that they are trying to change your mind through facts. And we'll go more into that in the next video. So overall, this message is all about the author's purpose. What are you going to write today? And what's your intention behind it?